If you've watched any of my recent videos, you might have realized I've been talking a lot about how important it is not to go crazy and lose your head in most dating situations. That's usually when you're in between getting a number and meeting up and you're worried they're going to flake. Between first and second dates, again, you're worried they're going to flake. Worried that girls are going to drop off if you, if you lack a bit of confidence in the early stages. I think a lot of people, oh yeah, also on dates as well. Guys talk about, the nerves on dates. So is there anything you can do to mitigate this or stop this happening entirely? Are there any secret tricks or techniques? And I'm basically going to say no. I'm going to say no. That feeling will never fully go away for most guys, at least not in my experience and my experience of watching other guys who have had a lot of experience themselves. And yeah, I think everyone has the capacity to still go crazy regardless of how far in you are. But what I will say is that experience is the key, because the more experience you have in those situations, the better you know how your mind works, how you handle yourself, and the better you realize that certain things are not a big deal because you've been through them several times before. That's my answer to this. It's all about experience and exposure therapy to the things that scare you and make you anxious, and going through this stuff which is not really physically painful. It's all about the mental state. The more you go through it, the more your brain learns how to deal with it. I can't tell someone who's never been on a date how to not be nervous for that date. That's impossible. There's no way to trick someone into not being nervous, into not getting in their own head, into not worrying. And there's no way to teach someone who has been doing it for a little bit but is getting a lot of flakes how to not worry about flakes. And once you get a few flakes in a row, then you can start getting more anxious about it. You start expecting it to happen, and that turns into a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's lots of minutiae and nuance to this journey and to dating in general from the mental aspect, that there's no quick technique. And I love some of these techniques. I love mindfulness meditation. I'm really sold on the idea of how helpful that can be as someone who has experienced anxiety, and I've had panic attacks in the past and those sort of things. Not from dating specifically, that was more when I was younger. And I like some of the meditation techniques, but unless you're gonna I'm not someone who can meditate every morning. I just don't have the discipline, I guess, or just the desire to do that kind of stuff. I meditate when I need to. It's very much like a grounding technique, as I've said, but it only has a minimal impact for me. And I did a video called How to Get Out of Your Own Head, and in there I went through things that you can do to make sure you're out of your own head. And that, if you want techniques and my advice for that, go watch that video. But no, I don't think there's any hidden secret dating technique to keep you from going crazy. You kind of just have to go crazy. And to some extent, these extreme emotions are what makes life worth living and dating fun. So I don't see, you can't really have the negative without the positive. And especially in the early days of your dating life, the positives are way higher to some extent because it's fresh and it's new. But that also means that the lows are way more destructive to you or feel worse. But that starts to numb after more and more experience. So I actually think you should enjoy the roller coaster while you're on it in the early days, because it's not going to feel as great later on to some extent, because it's just it becomes something that you do. It becomes less of a big deal. So yeah, I guess if you're really struggling with the lows, then look forward to that. The main point of this video though is just get more experience, and you will get better at handling it, trust me. All right, peace out.